We all have them, behavior patterns. They are the recurring ways we think, feel, and act. These patterns can be helpful or harmful. They can propel us forward or hold us back. Recognizing these patterns is the first step to understanding ourselves better. Think about your morning routine. Do you hit the snooze button 5 times, or do you jump out of bed ready to seize the day? This is a simple example of a behavior pattern. Positive patterns like regular exercise or mindful eating can lead to a healthier and happier life. On the other hand, negative patterns such as procrastination or impulsive spending can create unnecessary stress and obstacles. Understanding that these patterns exist is crucial. We are often unaware of how deeply ingrained they are. By acknowledging their presence, we can start to take control and create positive change. Our brains are wired to seek efficiency. Habits, a form of behavior patterns, provide this efficiency. When we repeat an action, our brains create neural pathways. These pathways make it easier to repeat the action in the future. Think of it like walking through a field. The first time you have to forge a new path, the more you walk that path, the clearer and easier it becomes. This is what happens in our brains with habits. This tendency to favor familiar pathways can be beneficial. It allows us to perform routine tasks without much mental effort. However, it also means that breaking negative patterns requires conscious effort. We need to create new pathways. Understanding this neurological basis of habits helps us appreciate the importance of self-awareness. It's the first step towards rewiring our brains for the better. Self-awareness is the key to unlocking change. It is the ability to pay attention to our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors without judgment. This mindful observation allows us to identify our patterns, both positive and negative. Research has shown that increased self-awareness is linked to better decision-making, stronger relationships, and greater well-being. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that individuals with higher self-awareness were more likely to achieve their goals. When we are self-aware, we can catch ourselves in the act. We can notice when we are engaging in a negative pattern. This recognition is crucial for breaking free from unhelpful habits and cultivating positive ones. Self-awareness empowers us to make conscious choices that align with our values and aspirations. Section 4, the cycle of repetition, breaking down the 4 stages of behavior patterns. To effectively change our behavior patterns, we need to understand the cycle that perpetuates them. This cycle consists of 4 stages: trigger, behavior, consequence, and reflection. First, the trigger. This is the cue that initiates the behavior. It could be an emotion, a situation, or even a time of day. For example, feeling stressed might trigger the behavior of overeating. Second, the behavior. This is the actual action or reaction we engage in. In our example, it's the act of overeating. Third, the consequence. This is the immediate outcome of the behavior. It could be a feeling of relief, guilt, or satisfaction. In our example, it might be a temporary feeling of comfort, followed by guilt. Finally, reflection, or the lack thereof. This stage is crucial. Do we reflect on the trigger, behavior, and consequence? Or do we move on without much thought? This reflection, or lack of it, determines whether the cycle continues. By breaking down our patterns into these 4 stages, we gain valuable insights. We can identify our triggers, understand the consequences of our actions, and start to interrupt the cycle of repetition. Section 5. Tools for transformation, cultivating self-awareness for positive change. Cultivating self-awareness is an ongoing practice. There are several powerful tools we can use to enhance our self-awareness. First, mindfulness meditation. This practice involves paying attention to the present moment without judgment. Regular mindfulness meditation can help us become more aware of our thoughts, feelings, and bodily sensations. Second, journaling. Writing down our thoughts and experiences can provide valuable insights into our patterns. Journaling allows us to track our triggers, behaviors, and consequences over time. Third, seeking feedback. Asking trusted friends, family members, or colleagues for feedback can offer a different perspective on our behavior. Their observations can reveal blind spots we might not be aware of. Finally, asking reflective questions. Throughout the day, pause and ask yourself questions like, what am I feeling right now? Why am I reacting this way? What is this situation teaching me? These questions encourage self-reflection and awareness. By incorporating these practices into our lives, we can gradually increase our self-awareness and gain greater control over our thoughts, feelings, and actions. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe and follow us for more content on self-awareness and personal growth.